Good morning everybody and welcome back to part 3 with the E90 V8 Club Sport build behind me. And I just want to show you this morning something that I'm very excited about. This is my favourite part of the build. Why is it my favourite part? Because we're adding safety, we're adding that kind of track look, a little bit more aggressiveness, and most importantly, as per the last clip, if you didn't see the last video, which is part 2, go back and watch that. What you will see is that I touch on how poor the V8 brakes are as a standard caliper. So what we need to do is get rid of them old calipers, because obviously with the V8 M3, they are a fast car, they aren't really heavy, but they're slightly on the heavy side. And as you can imagine, if you go to somewhere like not just an Nürburgring but any track, when you're trying to pull something heavy down from speed, brakes are super important. So that's why we've gone with what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to basically give you a what's in the box guide of what you get with what's known as the BTCC kit. These are supplied by a guy called Malk Bulk. You can find Malk on most of the owners' pages and he will supply you one of these kits. If you were looking at these and you fancy one, there's loads of different brackets which can help mold up the different kind of setups on different cars if you like. These are £2,250 plus VAT for the full kit. So we'll start off with the best bit. Pro 5000 R calipers. These are, as you can see, absolutely amazing. If you look at the size of them, obviously where the pad sits, the pad coverage is huge. I'll show you the discs as well. I'll just get in close and give you a little bit of detail on these. So as you can see, obviously these are going to look amazing behind the Pro Track wheels. Just a very sleek design. Obviously AP branded on there. Just an absolutely beautiful bit of kit. And the good thing is about these calipers as well is the weight. Now, I'm not somebody who gets hung up over weights. If I wanted a light track car, I wouldn't have selected a V8 M3. They aren't the lightest. I think they're about 1,450 kilograms. I still want the creature comforts of this car because I'm still going to use it as a family car and kind of use it on a weekend. So the likes of all of it's in there. I don't want to go in and start stripping stuff out and getting obsessed over weight. That's not what I'm about. So that's the caliper design. What I'm going to show you kind of is a what's in the box guide. So we'll do it in order. These are mounting brackets. So these are to mount the brakes to the V8, like a custom bracket for this particular setup. Obviously 2 of those, one either side. These are the bells, again, just talking about the weight of the actual brake setup. Like these are unbelievably light, as are the calipers. But those are the bells which actually bolt to the discs. I'll show you the discs in a second. Obviously you also get a set of braided lines. Now, if you're watching this channel, you're probably already into track cars and stuff, so you probably have half an idea what you're doing. But if you're just watching this for the first time and you want to build something to take on track, it doesn't have to be a V8 M3, it can be anything. One of the most important things, obviously, in order to make your track day safe and to get home, is to sort the brakes. Braided lines are hella important. Now, the standard lines on a car are made of rubber, and these can be a weak point, as you can imagine, with the heat of the brakes, the extra pressure applied on a track day. The standard lines can blow holes, and if you blow holes in line, your brakes aren't just going to work, and that's not going to be a good time for anybody. So yes, braided lines, very important add-on. These are a lot stronger, they'll perform a lot better, and they will last over time, and you won't have any issues with bursting the line and kind of the car pistons fluid out. So yes, if you're changing your brakes, always fit braided lines. That is the bobbins, which I mentioned earlier, and the bobbins basically bolt these to the disc. So them two go hand in hand, and the bobbins kind of go into here and then into the disc. And then the discs. This is the heavy part, but these are absolutely massive. If you watch the channel, there's no getting away from it. My head isn't the smallest. Just to give you an idea, I can nearly get my head through those. So that's just an idea of the size of those actual discs. Again, thickness, just bring in and kind of show you that. And obviously the face of the disc. As you can imagine, this kit, there's no fooling about this. This is a proper kit. It's what they run on BTCC cars. If you watch the BTCC, you'll know how serious that race series is. And obviously, with that in mind, serious cars need serious brakes. So that's what we're going to do with our AP kit. We're going to fit it up to the E90. I'm going to get Dave to fit these while I'm out today, and we'll give you a look at what they're like on the car. But I just want to show you exactly what you get in the box from Malk Bulk, and this is the Pro 5000 RBECC kit. Right, so while I've been out, obviously Dave's been doing a little work, loosening the old calipers off and starting to build the new discs up. Obviously, as you can see, he's put the bells on there, and obviously we've got the bolts through there now as well. Obviously, they are put in from this side, and you just kind of push through and clip. And then you've got a bolt and washer this side, and obviously, as I said, we have got the torque settings, and Dave's looking at those now. I think it's 30 newton meters to tighten these bolts, and obviously 14 newton meters. Sorry, there you go, 14 newton meters. So what we're going to do is obviously we're going to Loctite all these bolts in just to make sure that everything is kind of precise and solid. But obviously there's the bobbins in the packet there. So as you can see, we just applied these to this, and obviously there's the bare disc. So as you can imagine, the bobbins go through that side and then through the bell. But we're just going to get these Loctited up now, let them set overnight, I think, and then we're going to come in the morning and start fitting the calipers up. But as you can see, obviously that's the disc all whole, ready to go. Another thing to watch out for with these is these little buggers. As you can see, the end of that is an absolute mess. Obviously, when you've had your old discs on, they've had a lot of hammer, they've gone hot and cold and hot and cold. These little grub screws, which kind of go in here to hold the disc in place, these can be an absolute nightmare to get out, so a little bit of heat will definitely always help you. And obviously, I'll get in closer. So as I was saying to you before about the bad caliper design, I'll just show you exactly what I meant. So if you look at the size of the actual caliper, I'll just kind of pan out, and then you can see the absolutely pathetic size of the pad. I mean, like literally, the pad doesn't even cover half the caliper. So you can see, obviously, in comparison to the APs that we're actually going to fit, pad coverage across the disc, it'll basically be the length and breadth of the full caliper, hence the stopping power. But yes, very, very bad design. Look at the size of that pad in there. Obviously, just the little smaller things, check while you've got things apart. Obviously, we, like I said, are building this car to go on track, so we want to go over everything. Obviously, the backing plates are always in good condition, so it's nice to check those because they can come off. And obviously, most importantly, check the wheel bearings as well. They should be free and easy. There should be no grinding, so we're quite happy with that one. That's the passenger side. We'll just check the driver's side. See what this one's like as well. So that one, honestly, not as easy as what the passenger one. So I think the passenger one's maybe had a bearing at some point. This one is still good though, still quite free. We've got no grinding or no noise from them. And again, back and plate condition. I think these have been changed at some point. These are all in very nice condition, so we're not going to have any issues there. So yes, just a bit of a thing while you're changing your brakes, just always check your wheel bearings as well. And before I get too excited, obviously just want to show you the disc obviously bolted up. You can see obviously how heavy duty these things are. I mean, regardless of how they're going to perform, they just look absolutely tremendous when you fit them up. So that's obviously our disc on there now. And then we're going to try and mock the mountain bolts up. We think with the mountain brackets, sorry, that we maybe have to take a bit out of the heat shield the other side, which I'm going to show you there now. So when the brackets go on to here, you tend to foul this shield here. So we're just going to slice a bit off this shield so the bracket can actually pass. That'll allow us to bolt the brackets up, and then we can refit the disc and get the caliper on. Right, so as I've been obsessed over obviously the old brake design and the new brake design, this is just to show you a nice comparison of the difference in stopping power. Obviously the discs are a lot bigger, the calipers are a lot bigger. It's going to be better naturally anyway. As you can see from my hands, I've had to take that out, which I don't like doing. But if you look at the two pads in comparison and the coverage, you can see obviously this is going to cover a hell of a lot more of the disc. Obviously the more pad face there is on the disc, the quicker the car's going to stop. So when you just put them up kind of like that, you can see the difference in pad size. Yes, this one is slightly wider, but compared to how much of that pad is actually touching the disc, in terms of pads themselves and stopping power, that is a huge difference when you look at the two. So obviously this pad will sit, once the caliper's on, that pad will sit there, so you can just see by looking at that how much of that pad actually covers the disc. And obviously with all the pistons working in harmony, you can imagine how quickly that will actually stop the car. So that's just a comparison in difference with the pads and the discs. So that's the full kit bolted up now. Obviously you've still got to connect the brake line, which to give you an idea of what they actually look like when they are fitted. Now what we found is, obviously again just for information purpose for anybody fitting the kit, the caliper wasn't sitting quite right. Now in the instructions it said you can add a shim if needed, so what we've done is put a shim in behind the bracket just to space the caliper out a little bit. So as you can see, it passes lovely there now. But that's just an idea of what they look like now they're up. So finally this concludes the end of part 3 with the E90. And I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll show you what the calipers look behind the wheels. These are all done now. We just need to bleed the brakes up, and then we obviously, well, I was going to say we should be able to get the car on the road, but we're a little bit away from that now. So I'll flip around there and we'll show you what it looks like as a finished article. So that's it. Obviously, as you can see, the beauty of the AP calipers, as big as they are with the Pro Track wheels, there's a lot of clearance behind there, as you can see. But you can see the size of the discs obviously sitting behind the wheel. But that basically there is the finished article. Obviously a massive part of building this car is this brake setup that we have been looking forward to doing. So thank you very much for staying tuned once again from me and Dan at On The Limiter, and please stay tuned for more videos coming with the build of the E90.